U.S. stock futures are little changed after Dow, S&P 500 fall from their highs. U.S. stock futures were little changed early Tuesday after the Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 fell from record highs in regular trading on Monday, amid concerns about a resurgence in COVID-19 cases. Dow Jones Industrial Average futures dipped 25 points. S&P 500 futures were flat while NASDAQ 100 futures traded mildly higher. The Senate could pass a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill as soon as Tuesday. The plan, which includes $550 billion in new spending on transportation and broadband, could help give the economy a boost as peak growth slows following the reopening from the pandemic. During regular trading on Monday, the Dow fell 106.66 points to 35,101.85, or 0.3%. The S&P 500 traded down 0.1% at 4,432.35. The NASDAQ Composite rose 0.16% to 14,860.18. Energy stocks led the declines after oil prices fell 4% amid fears that a wave of COVID cases could lead to a demand slowdown. Oil prices rebounded slightly Tuesday, up 1%. Recovery plays including Norwegian Cruise Line and United Airlines were down as well. Despite the Delta variant surge in cases across the U.S., recent mobility data suggests that consumer spending should remain robust, Jason Pride, Chief Investment Officer of Private Wealth at Glend, said in a note Monday. Weekly foot traffic data gathered by Placer.ai for sectors sensitive to COVID-19 such as hotels, dining, leisure, and fitness continues to increase to sit near or surpass pre-pandemic peaks. However, as summer comes closer to an end, any significant declines or changes to the narrative are worth watching. Treasury yields rose, however, following data released by the Labor Department that showed job openings jumped to 10.1 million for the month of June, versus the 9.1 million expected by economists. Still, the labor market might be tighter than it appears, according to Natix's Joseph Lavorna. The July employment report was solid, confirming the spell of robust economic growth and the 2021 boom, he said in a note. While the job market is still far away from a couple of key pre-pandemic benchmarks, recent data suggest there's much less labor slack than what is implied by the unemployment rate. If worker shortages persist, wages will be poised to rise further, and even more government spending will serve as an additional accelerant. The price of Bitcoin Monday jumped 5%, its highest price since May. Gold recovered most of its losses from its overnight flash crash. AMC stock jumped 6.7% after releasing its earnings report Monday after hours, reporting a lower loss than expected. The company also announced it would begin accepting Bitcoin at all U.S. locations this year. Shares of the Real fell 5% in extended trading after reporting a quarterly loss, bringing Poshmark and Third Up, which are set to report earnings Tuesday, down with it. Earnings season continues Tuesday, with Coinbase set to report. Its stock, which trades closely with the price of Bitcoin, rose 8% Tuesday. SoftBank and Cisco are also set to report. Investors await the Consumer Price Index and Producer Price Index data, both of which measure inflation and are scheduled to come out Wednesday and Thursday, respectively. A handful of central bank speakers, including Chicago Fed President Charles Evans and Kansas City Fed President Esther George, are also expected this week. Investors will be listening for clues on how the Fed is approaching dialing back its bond purchases. Next, share some information about the COVID-19 vaccine. Businesses and local governments in Asia are coming up with creative ways to encourage vaccines among people still hesitant to get one, doling out everything from gold to farm animals. The Asia-Pacific region is battling a COVID resurgence as major cities in China, Malaysia, Indonesia and Australia report rising daily cases, especially from the highly contagious Delta variant of the disease. But most of Asia is struggling with low inoculation rates as vaccine hesitancy persists and vaccine disinformation spreads. On top of that, many countries can't get enough doses for their people. The region's vaccine progress lags Europe and North America, according to Our World in data. As of August 8, 41.6% of Europeans and 38.8% of North Americans were fully vaccinated, compared with only about 11.6% of people in Asia. Hong Kong, apartment, gold and a private flight. Businesses in Hong Kong are giving out prizes in a bid to boost the vaccination rate amid public mistrust of the government. Several sponsors including real estate developer Sino Group arranged a lucky draw for those who have been vaccinated. Top prize is a new, one-bedroom apartment worth about 10.8 million Hong Kong dollars. To support a government vaccination campaign, Cathay Pacific Airways has 20 million Asian Air Miles up for grabs. One winner will get to hold a private party on board the airline's new Airbus A321neo aircraft. An organization of gold trading firms, the Chinese Gold and Silver Exchange, is giving away gold worth 1.1 million Hong Kong dollars to those who have received 2 COVID shots. The amount of incentives provided by businesses totaled more than HK $73 million, the South China Morning Post reported in June. About 35% of Hong Kong's population has been fully vaccinated as of August 8, according to Our World in data. Philippines, land, cattle and sacks of rice. Both local governments and companies in the private sector are doing their part to encourage more people to vaccinate. The municipality of San Luis Pampanga launched a campaign giving those who are vaccinated a chance to win a cow. Congresswoman Camille Villar offered people in her city a slew of incentives if they are vaccinated. Residents from Las Piñas City stand a chance to win a house, motorcycles and even groceries if they receive at least 1 dose of COVID vaccine, the Manila Times reported. On the outskirts of Manila, in Sucat, 20 people stand a chance to take home a 25-kilogram sack of rice every week if they get their shots, according to Reuters. The initiative aims to draw poorer residents who need the extra push to get inoculated, the news agency said. While some give out rewards, others issue threats to those who won't vaccinate. After poor turnouts at several vaccination sites in the capital Manila in June, Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte reportedly warned residents, "If you don't want to get vaccinated, I'll have you arrested." As the city prepared to enter a 2-week lockdown on Friday, Reuters reported that thousands of people showed up at vaccination centers across Manila. Only 9.8% of the country's population was fully vaccinated by August 5, Our World in data numbers showed. Indonesia, live chickens. Indonesia has the second highest number of cases in Asia, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. Government authorities are giving out 500 live chickens to vaccinated seniors in Spanas, in the West Java province, according to multiple media reports. About 85% of Indonesia's population are Muslims. Despite religious approval by the country's top Islamic body, many are concerned about whether the vaccines are halal or permissible by Islam. "I was afraid that if I was vaccinated, I would die immediately." Then there was more worrying news that this vaccine contained pork, Asip Sepudan, a 67-year-old resident of Spanas, told Reuters. 8.7% of Indonesia's total population has been fully vaccinated as of August 8, according to Our World in data. India, gold, blenders and discounts. In India, fast food chain McDonald's is offering vaccinated customers a 20% discount. Goldsmiths in Rajkot, Gujarat reportedly came together to encourage those above 45 years old to get vaccinated. Women were given gold nose pins for taking their vaccine shots, while men received hand blenders, the Hindustan Times said. India reported on Friday that the country had administered more than 500 million doses of vaccine. However, only 8.2% of its population has been fully vaccinated so far, Our World in Data numbers showed. The country may be facing a third wave of infections in the coming months, according to local media reports. China, eggs. China had a slow start to its vaccination program as the government was relatively successful in controlling the virus outbreak in the early days of the global pandemic. As a result, many citizens did not initially see the urgency to get vaccinated until pockets of resurgence appeared in the country. In March this year, a Beijing health center was giving away £5.50 of eggs to residents who were 60 years and above when they received their first vaccine shot, the Associated Press reported. Some regions, however, took a harsher approach. Officials reportedly visited villages to convince them to get vaccinated, and were told it was their national duty, the Washington Post said. The country has administered almost 1.7 billion doses of vaccines as of August 3, reported state media Xinhua news agency citing the National Health Commission. Thank you for your watching. See you next time.